this day, they are not the one we used to know. So they are very wild. They know more than, sometimes they know more than you as an adult, and you keep asking where. That's because they are open more to the internet. So the internet has fed a lot of young people things that they are not taught in school. Aside the internet, there are also conversations that young people have over the years learned from adults. You see adults having conversations and children are there, they are listening and they are learning. And one thing about young people of this age is the ones you do not teach them, that's what they learn. So they learn by your actions.
The ones you tell them not to do.
Yes, the one you tell them not to do.
They want to know why.
Yes, they won't do it. That particular one you do not emphasize on, that you are indulging in, secretly or openly, that's the one they copy. And that's why it's very important you do not abuse anybody in front of a child, because the effect of such acts on them, it takes God's grace to, to take that out. A 16 years old, now they call the guy her ex. That means they probably have been dating for months or for years. So if, for instance, they started dating 14 years, that's still not, it's still not making sense. And then she went as far as murdering these people. How did she come up with such initiative? Where did she get the poison? And how did these children agree that, okay, this food is from my ex, I can take this food and it doesn't matter? So there's a lot of case of carelessness, both from those people who ate the food and even the friends. And you know what's more painful? Out of the 4 people who died, 2 are brothers. Siblings. 2. So one family lost 2 children carelessly because of one mistake or one intentional evil act
that someone made
by someone. So I really think it's high time as a society we go back to the drawing board. What do we feed young people with? Before that 16-year-old girl did that thing, she has seen it somewhere, she's heard about it,
or even read about it.
It might not even be her first time. We were still on this program. We were still on this program. We're talking about a 200 level student who killed his sister, the girlfriend. There's so much evil stories going around, and we need to trace it back to the roots. How do people come up with initiatives like this? How do people wake up one morning and plan something deadly? And it's not even older people, young people. I don't want to go to the spiritual route right now, but I think it's not normal. It's spiritual. Why will anybody just wake up 16 years old and have the mind? As big as I am right now, there are still some things that I do not allow myself think, because I've not grown my mind to be that tough. So the moment you start thinking about it, you are grooming your mind.
Okay.
So I really think we need to go back to the
Yes, like the story is a very sad one, I must say. But then at 16, why would you be thinking about killing your fellow human being? How would you think about harming your fellow human being? I think what should be at the back of your head is, at 16, every girl child is supposed to be, I want to go to school, I want to pass my JAMB, I want to do this, not thinking about harming another person. So I think, just as Miriam said, we need to go back to the drawing board. What are these children exposed to? What are they watching? What are they seeing? Because definitely she has either seen it somewhere or watched it somewhere or even heard someone saying so. Because why would you sit and say, okay, I want to do this to not just one person? Because I believe before she gave the food to the person, she knew that he was not staying alone, he would not eat it alone. So definitely she knew that, and the guy is not just the target alone. There's a high tendency for other people to eat out of that food. So I think we just need to just do better, and young ladies should just do better. I mean, young girls, not even young ladies now.
Not even the ladies alone, the girls alone, because if you're still 18 or 19, according to the story, and you're having a girlfriend, Blessing, don't you think is something that we parents should look at?
Well, for me, we all know this story, and we know the kind of generation we are in. In fact, for a long time, I think since I was a teenager, I've been seeing videos and movies of little kids saying, I want you to be my boyfriend at a very tender age. So now imagine at this stage, the kind of people that are beginning to, get into relationship and have no idea what relationship or even marriage entails. Now, secondly, let's see it this way. I had a friend who had a son. So there was this day, the boy came back from school and said, Mom, what is the meaning of revenge? And the mother explained to the boy. This boy is just like, it's not even up to, I think it's primary school.
Wow.
So the mother explained to the boy, and the boy said, okay, no problem. Not knowing that the boy wanted to understand what revenge means, in as well to go and practice it
on someone.
on someone in his class, which he did, and it kind of backfired. The boy was reported from school about something that happened between him and... Now, this particular child needs to be monitored. This kind of girl has had this revengeful spirit within her for a long time. It's more like when you see all those girls, oh, she did something to me, I will show you. I will do my own back. I will make sure that... Do you understand? It starts from there. And before you know, you grow up with these things, and you don't even know what you are capable of till the experience or the situation presents itself. Now this situation presents itself to this girl. And before you know it, she poisoned, you know, the food that people would take. She knew that they would die. It's not like I poisoned you to have maybe food poisoning or just, you know, and then probably they'll rush you to your... This was instant death. They met them dead. Do you understand? So I just feel parents should also look out for their children at the tender age. When you start seeing your child having this revengeful, oh, they did something to me, I'm going to do my own back, oh, they pinch you, they're going to pinch you. Yeah. Let's start watching them from this time, you know, henceforth, before they become, this thing grows and becomes a monster. And then before you know it, they start practicing these things. So I just feel this is what we should look into as well. Because there's nothing, I don't think there's really anything we can do about this social media. That kind of girl has a TikTok account. She has her head cam on her head. I'm sure she dances online. She does all those TikTok trends and all that. So how do you want to, how many students, how many teenagers do you want to collect phones from now? You know, so I just feel it is that bad character, that seed that's been growing from time to time that has led to this. This is the fruit of the seed of revenge. If she had just, you know, let me take my focus away, let me just take it off my mind, let me focus on something else. Substitute, maybe her parents are involved, okay, she needs other friends or something, or education, like you said. Let her get, okay, maybe I need to take a scholarship, I need to take a test, I need to just refocus your mind and take your mind away from the heartbreak that you just probably, you know, experienced.
And according to what you said, there are a lot of things going on the social media. And there are a lot of young people taking the good side of it.
Yes, exactly.
Why would someone go and take the bad side of things? In life, there are good things, there are bad things. If the pressure is getting too much, that's why they said young ladies or boys should speak out when they feel this that their mind are not stable, they're thinking towards the bad things. They should speak out, talk to someone who you think is elderly that can listen to you. Not everybody anyway that you can talk to. Talk to someone who you think will understand what you're going through. At that point, when you start talking, then you get relieved from your mind. For poisoning someone, and according to what I just read now, it is not 4. There are 5.
There are 5. Okay, plus 4 boys plus the
plus the ex-boyfriend.
So that's 5 people.
That's 5.
You know, I want us to look at this. She said something about parents, and I think there's more we can do. So the whole discussion of children having boyfriend and girlfriend, really, it's not new. It's been there. Yes. You know, as we're growing up, their tendency of you being attracted to the opposite sex from the start. In fact, some parents will be praying that their child is attracted to the opposite sex. Natural. No, I think we also need to pay attention to this part. I know a friend of mine told me that her parents told her that, look, the moment you are feeling attracted to any boy and you feel the boy could be your boyfriend, bring him home.
That is sex education.
Bring him home. Don't be scared. You want to have a boyfriend, bring it home. But I think a lot of parents are not open to that. And so they do not know the people their children are close with to call a boyfriend. For instance, you know a child, you know this particular boy to be close to your daughter, and all of a sudden they are no longer close. Now it's your duty as a parent to say, what happened to this thing? What happened to this guy? Okay, something happened, this is what he did to me, we're not happy, this is how you move on. You know, you don't need to do this to him, you don't need to do this to her. This guy is able to trust you, you know, whatever hurt she's going through, she's able to do that. But the moment we do not give them that space, you cannot have a boyfriend.
I understand what you're saying. Not only boyfriends. When your friend, when your child and their friends, be it again. When they fight, how do you settle them?
This
How do you
this
settle
brings
them?
me to a child talking about jealousy. Say, mommy, what do you do when you feel jealous? I knew that child was
nothing it already.
Yes. So that's the time you sit. That's why most times what I do as a parent, once in a while, maybe once in a month, I call my children, sit them down, and say, okay, is there anything you like to talk to me about? Maybe something on your mind, or maybe something I did, And from there, we started that relationship. Do you know that till today, any secrets in their mind, maybe even if their dad is not there, they'll be like, mommy, there's something I want to tell you. What is that thing now is eating him up? Because we have created that relationship. So they tell me, sometimes I think it happened 2 nights ago. They called me and said, mommy, I'm actually the one that took that thing. I said I should tell you. Please don't beat me.
Yeah.
And I felt relieved. You have won in life.
Congratulations. Very open. And parents too should be very open to their kids so that they can be able to tell you something, even if they feel like
burning them up. Yes.
My mom or my dad is there to listen to me.
So let's move on. Now we want to move on to another interesting one, and this one is talking about inheriting your friend's enemy. And when I saw that story, something happened to me, and I inherited a friend's enemy. And later on, both of them came back and became friends. So I looked stupid. So when I saw this story, I said, let's try and talk about these things, because a lot of people are into this trap, and this trap can consume the person fighting for a friend. So let's talk about it. Can you inherit your friend's enemy?
Well, I think, to be very honest, I have a very contradicting opinion to that, because you cannot harm my friend and expect me to be smiling with you. So I think it goes two ways. There are some cases whereby I wouldn't want to friend someone that is hurting my friend, and there are some cases whereby I won't, I can easily be your friend despite the fact that you and my friend are not in good terms. I think this works in mutual friends. They are, we have certain group of friends that this person might not be cool with this person, but I'm cool with the both of them. I think in that presence, I would not want to make an enemy out of my friend's enemy. I would just stay neutral between both parties. But in a case whereby I know you are hurting my friend, I know what you are doing, trust me, I would not smile with you. That is my own point of observation. I won't smile with you. So I think we just need to prioritize our discretion and decisions. There's a way you can manage friends wisely, because you see cases where in a set of friends, maybe 2% are more closer than the other 2%. But that does not mean I'm fighting you, but I'm just trying to maintain balance between the both of you. But wherever I see that what this person is doing is bad, and I know it's bad, and I think this comes from the angle of, if you are not really close to that person, you can say from afar that, okay, this person has actually wronged my friend based off what your friend told you. But you can as well try to get to know the person and also hear that person's side of the story. Then you cannot decide that, okay, this is who I want to support and this is who I don't want to support.
Okay.
So I think
so Blessing, if a friend comes to you and tell you the other friend has wronged her, and she painted everything, and the anger naturally will come, that why would someone treat my friend like that? For you, how diplomatic should you be in that sense?
Okay, based on my experience with friends, there's something called triangular friendship. I've experienced it in secondary school, in the university, and in real life. And my experience so far is that when there's a triangular friendship, it's like saying, oh, my friend's friend. Of course, I know her, but, my experience is that, in life, there is nobody beyond flaws. Even I myself, one day, I have a little bit of, what they used to call that thing? Is this called
mood swing? It is called mood swing.
Okay, I have a little bit of mood swing sometimes. So, it's like saying we hurt ourselves, consciously or unconsciously. So talk of taking sides. I experienced something so serious back then in my life that I've learned to stop, getting in between anything called friendship or somebody's marriage or relationship. Leave them, because when they settle their case, you will now become the enemy. So my opinion is, I don't get angry. Somebody told me something and I don't get angry. No, I have to listen to the both sides of the story. If I didn't listen to the other side of the story, I can't carry somebody's load on my head.
Even with listening.
Yes, of course.
Even with listening, Miriam, what will you do?
I want us to go back from, let's go way back in those days.
Okay.
I don't know about you, but there were times when my mom had issues with another woman, maybe neighbors or colleague, or in those days.
By default, it will become a community fact.
By default, by default, you are inheriting your parents' enemies.
Oh dear.
But growing up, you now understand that life is not like that. It could be that person that is supposed to be the enemy of your parent or your friend is not really as bad as.
Or is even the victim.
Even the victim,
That's the funny thing. Yes. That's the funny thing.
When you're growing up, you now understand that, okay, it might not be like this. So actually, my mom was actually at fault too, and it didn't go well. You're growing up, you now start understand that, no, you can't do this. So you now try to stay in between. So you might not really be the friend of that person, but you are also trying to maintain a clean slate. That doesn't mean that you are trying to be friends with the other person. You're just trying to show that you are a reasonable person. You're just being logical. You're just being objective. I don't call a thief until they have stolen from me. So no matter what people call you out there, I do not see you as that. You have to prove beyond reasonable doubt to me that this is who you are. But I want to say at some point we've done that before, and it's just natural. The enemy of your enemy. We did it in maths. Minus plus minus. The enemy of your enemy. You just like, we need to click together. You hate the person I hate, so we can be friends. But the moment your friend, someone you cherish as family or friend, is having issue with another person, by default you start. It takes logical reasoning. It takes an objective mind to say, no, I can't do it. And there are sometimes you can be objective, and there are sometimes you can just be like, well, I need to be here for my friend. I need to do this. And sometimes being there for your friend also includes opening your friend's eyes to see things. Look, this thing you did is wrong. This thing you did is wrong. You don't need to create enmity. And there are also times where people have inherited, just like you said, you inherited the beef of another person, and they made up, and you were thrown under the bus.
Till now.
That's when being objective.
Till now, I'm not talking about
because you were not there when it happened.
Yes, and it does so much when you see that both of them came back as if nothing happened.
Exactly.
How do you feel?
And you know the painful part? They will not come and tell you that, oh, I've settled with this person.
You just see that.
You just see
that it's
that. So if you not start, how do you, even when they come meet you and say we've settled, how do you make up? How do you become friends with that person again? So really, sometimes just don't be in the middle.
At all.
Just be logical. Just be logical. Don't be
Is
one-sided.
either you settle it for
Settle
them,
it for them or walk out. Just
stay out of it.
Stay out of it. It's not your beef.
Be like, don't worry, you guys will still settle. Okay, everything will be fine. Just calm down. It's just the time. Time will pass and you guys will come back to so that you are not in the middle.
Okay, we've trashed that. Now let's go to the third one, and this third one is talking about setting marital example. And a pastor came out last week talking about setting marital example as a man. How do you settle a marital example? Pastor Kingsley Okonkwo came out on his one of his social media handle, the Twitter, and said the X. And said you should be an example, a good example to your children. That are you the kind of man that want your daughter, that you want your daughter to marry? And that is a very pregnant question to ask.
Well,
a very heavy.
We don't have a man on the program today, so I think the question would not be, as a woman, would you be the kind of would you want your son to marry the kind of woman that you want?
So Why are we looking like that?
Let's answer that question, please.
That's a very strong person. So let's talk about it. Miriam, let me start from you.
Well, my son will be my son. He knows what he wants in a woman. He has a spec. And I'm not going to lie. I have my flaws as a woman, as a human, you know. And I also have my strengths. Those are the things that makes me outstanding in what I do. But to a very large extent, I just want my son to pick whatever meets his fantasy. There are some men that do not like two good women. They are out there. When you are God-fearing, you are hardworking, you don't give the man trouble, the man still have issue that you do not give him trouble. We've seen, we've read, we've seen a lot of things in recent times. So really it's about what meets the fancy of the man in question. Well, you know, I'm me, and I'm going to suit in perfectly for the man God has created me for. And that's what I think it should really be about. You might not really marry someone like your mother. And I think people should also look out for this. Your mother is your mother, and your wife is going to be your wife. So if you now carry there are some things that you look out for, which is necessary, you look out for in a woman. You know, maybe those are the things you saw from your mother. But do not imagine or think that you will see an exact replica of your mother in another woman. Everyone else is taken. Everyone is just who they are. So don't look for what is not in somewhere. But there are some things, there are some traits you look out for. Those are the genuine traits anyone would look out for, you know. So
Okay. Do you go with that
Yes,
analogy?
I do. Like, based off what she said, I want to like put a little bit of backstory. I was at a program and the woman was discussing that our 16-year-old son walked up to her and said, "Mommy, can you please help me find a girlfriend just like you?" She said she smiled and laughed and said, "Why?" He said, "Mommy, you're simple, you're smart, you're nice, daddy loves you," and on like that. And she was like, as much as you are looking for someone like me, you cannot get someone like me. There is just one of me. Fine, you can find a lady that is nice, that is gentle, but don't expect her to be totally like me. So it won't be like when you're having issues with her, be like, "Oh, my mom is not like this." She's know her for who she is.
That's the foundation of problems.
Exactly. So, in as much as you're trying to like set examples for your kids so that they can marry right, just let them know that there is high tendency not to get someone exactly like me, but you can find people with good traits. It's very possible. But don't, because we've seen cases where some men disrespect their wives because they'll be like, "Oh, my mother does not do this, my mother does this better." And same applies to women. They're like, "Oh, my father cannot treat me like this, my father." Fine, they can be good, they can be loving and everything you want, but there is this tendency of not you getting 100%
You can't get
your parents in there. So
cannot.
that's just my own opinion.
Okay, Blessing, your own opinion.
Okay, so I want to hit this particular question on the nail, as like, you know, nail on the head. You know, I believe that this kind of question would help a lot of men rethink the kind of person that they are.
Yeah.
Now, as a father, you know, you read this kind of message, you know, this kind of question, and then you think about it that, okay, would I really want my daughter to marry somebody like me? And I tell you, let me not say 90%, 98% of the men would say no. They would love to omit some things, you know, from their character or their behavior, you understand, so that, okay, my daughter can have the best of the kind of person that I am. But unfortunately, as said before, we are all humans. We all have flaws. There's no perfect husband anywhere. There's no perfect spouse anywhere. So, just like Miriam said, you can't expect to have everything, you understand, just, you know, from the woman aspect, you can't expect to have everything of your mom in, you understand, your spouse, or maybe of your dad in another spouse. So I just believe that this kind of question would help a lot of men as well as women to rethink and retract their motives, their intentions, their behaviors in their present marriage. So as well, it's like you are trying to replicate, or you are praying that your daughter or your son finds someone exactly like you. But it's not easy. What about times when you're having mood swings? What about times when you're having challenges and you don't even know how to deal with it, and then you flare up at everybody in the house? How are you going to explain that? You understand? So I just believe that this kind of question helps. It's good that it's being thrown out there to help a lot of people, you know, rethink and remodel themselves, the kind of, you know, child or the kind of spouse they want their children to relate with.
Okay, let me rephrase that question.
Okay.
Miriam, will you marry someone like your own father?
So you're looking for yes or no answer.
Not really. Not really. We are trying to bring it.
Life is not black and white. You know, she said something. You can even have that good character. The fact that you have good character does not mean you will meet a spouse with good character.
Yeah.
The fact that you're a good person does not mean that everybody you meet in your life will be good. That's the sad reality of life. So it's not just a straightforward yes or no. But let me go back to your question. If I can marry someone like my father, yeah, my father is everything a father should be. And there are some things, just like we mentioned before, there are some things, there are some flaws that make him human. And I believe everybody has it. Even the husband has it. Even the wife has it. Even your mother has it. Even you as a person have it. Those are the things you would want to say, okay, this one, no, I don't want to see it in this one. This one, no, God, please change it for me. I don't want it. But we have seen cases where people have come out to say every single thing about my father, God, copy it and put in another man. Another person said, God, please, never, don't. You know, yeah, so it depends on who the father is and who, and also as a person, if you understand that really nobody is perfect, just know what you can work with, and the things you cannot work with, stay away from it.
Okay, well, I think Pastor Kingsley Okonkwo is just trying to awaken the consciousness of people in society and allow them and make the right decisions that if you are not good at what you're doing, that means your children can copy and it will affect them later on in life. For instance, subconsciously, some parents who do drugs, who do take alcohols, subconsciously, domestic, those children that they bring to the world will want to do it, practicalize it. So that I think that is what Pastor Okonkwo is trying to say, that if you think you cannot do good in your marriage or in your home, then be conscious of what you're doing, because what if your daughter gets someone like you? Will you be happy with that?
And you know that thing happens actually. You see parents, children getting attracted to a spouse that is like their parent.
And they do not want that.
Yes, and they don't want that kind of spouse, but they end up in that same, so it now becomes a pattern in the family line, and it's just so strange, like very strange.
That's what they are open to.
Yes,
that's the definition of spouse. That's the definition of marriage. That's the definition of love.
I think
they know, and that's why it's eating deep into them.
Yes, coming from Pastor Kingsley's point of view, I think he's just trying to let men or husbands that they are doing wrong in their marriage to just like take a switch and before things turn bad. Because if you are a man and I see, oh, do you want your daughter to marry someone like you, and I know deep down that what I'm doing is not good, a little part of me would want to like adjust it with that. Okay, this man is actually saying the facts. So I think he's just trying to let them know that if you are doing something wrong, this is the best time for you to just change.
All right, thank you, ladies. Now we want to take a quick stop, and we'll come back. We'll have the issue of the day.